Thank you, everyone, considering among the elite list right now. Displaying the slide, I am currently employed at Regency Hospital in Kanpur, a medical oncologist in Kanpur right now, and the second medical oncologist. And I've been through a various illustrious institutions like Tata Hospital and Vardhaman Mahavir Medical College and Safdarjung Hospital. Next slide, please. And I would like to say that giving my best foot forward, probably it will be very difficult because all of data which I'm going to say are like a children to me. I am unmarried, so they are like a surrogate, but I consider them as equal and very important because they are the Indian presentations which are day in and day out to get it on the public platform. And I've been working at in government hospital also, Safdarjung also. I tried my level best to do call it and to develop innovative solutions. But whenever you try to develop innovations, there are legal it. And when you go and you look into, even flying kite is also illegal in India. So next slide, please. The first publication which took me to oncology by Dr. Anuradha Chogle, ma'am. She discovered about the EGFR mutation. Based on this, next slide, please. We analyzed our mutation profile, co-author with Dr. Pratik Chandrani, and we found the mutation profile and different from what is being documented in Europe or in East Asia, with more of mutations. The EGFR, which was traditionally 40 to 50, was 28% for us. And then I started working on a randomized trial where I was one of the co-authors of Jeftinib versus uh, pemetrexed plus carboplatin, and that's how I the concept of the targeted therapy. And you could see this was the first, and I had my hands with the survival curves, and the PFS was definitely different as compared to the chemotherapy, which we all know, and similarly was the overall survival. Next, our slide, please. Next, at least 3, 4 slides I have moved forward. Yeah. Next slide, please. Next, 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 next. Yeah, and this was the first time we analyzed how many back, please. Next, how many time does a patient back spend in the quality of life? We analyze the quality of life with understanding of how many the survival difference if they are in tox Ts. So we have to analyze on terms of the quality of life as well as the time under the quality the tox Ts which was there. The next in which I worked day in and day out was presented by Dr. Vanita Norona. Nib versus Jeff plus chemo. Next slide, please. Uh, it got everybody knows the data in and out, and but again, it was dear to me because we were taking head on with osimertinib, the current standards, and it was a phenomenal benefit as you could see for it. With the survival curves, as you could see, that the median PFS was 16.9, and there was at the outgoing batch, I proposed this Jeftinib plus bevacizumab, 400 milligram we did. Uh, Next slide, please. Another study which we found very important was, next slide. Slide, please. Next. Was the radiological features. By this is a AI-driven, probably future thing that I would like to say that while the MRI of the many of the patients of targeted mutation patients, we found out that there are some features that are very important that we need to see for looking after. Next slide. Next slide. The T2 borders, the number of the metastasis, the edema, the diffusion restriction, and the meningeal involvement. Next slide, please. Which helps us whether the brain metastasis can show us whether it's a targeted driven mutation or it is a non-targeted driven mutation. So all these features point out towards whether it's an EGFR or ALK driven tumors. Next slide. Next slide. Push 3, 4 next onwards. Uh, the T2 borders, the edema, and the meningeal involvement. Next slide, please. The next thing which I worked on was the EGFR mutations in a squamous cell carcinoma, and it became quite a standard after we analyzed that all, even though there are around 7 to 9% of the patients who have that EGFR mutations. Next slide, please. We always tend to compile what is the uncommon EGFR mutations, and we also published in that single center retrospective around 83 mutations which were rare. Next slide, please. And then the weekly, 3-weekly, which was presented in ASCO 2017, a burning question whether the weekly cisplatin is effective or a 3-weekly cisplatin is effective. And you could see there was a difference in 2-year locoregional survival and the failure rates with the two data. Next slide, please. And you could see the toxicities were very much there with the 3-weekly cisplatin, but all were under none grade 4 or grade 5 which was plausible. Next slide, please. Another thing which we found out that the hypothyroidism, next 2, 3 slides, please. Hypothyroidism, when we looked at the data, is in fact a good factor because those patients who developed hypothyroidism, the cells were in a nascent stage and they probably were not much metabolic active, and that's why we could find out that with hypothyroidism, there is a greater chance of there's a lesser chance of recurrence, and there is a better locoregional control. Next slide, please. Next 2, 3 slides. And now another first time we've studied the ALK positive patients, our experience, which we published in the SAGC. Next slide, please. And we could see giving a targeted therapy does make a difference with the 1-year PFS around 52%, 2-year PFS around 30%. Next slide, please. And those who could receive crizotinib, you could see the difference as compared to those who couldn't receive, because it wasn't available initially for everybody. And that's why the targeted therapy giving was that much important. And those who could achieve 5-year OS was 33% as compared to those who couldn't achieve. Next slide, please. And we applied, I know each of them because we applied for each and every patient the lorlatinib, which was available on compassionate grounds. We could give it to around 30 40 patients in total at the last count of mine. And you could see that giving lorlatinib, the response rate was around 62.5%. Next 2, 3 slides, please. Yeah. So the response rates were around 62.5%, and we could see dramatic improvements for those who had progressed on crizotinib and they were unaffordable for alectinib or the ceritinib, and we started giving lorlatinib on compassionate grounds, and they could see differences in the responses for all of them. Next 2, 3 slides, please. We could see the survivals ranging with median OS of 60 months, and the PFS was around 18 months for many of them. So next was the immunotherapy data, which I published for around 155. It is under publication right now. And you could see that it does make a difference in terms of the responses and in the survival, and the results were as comparable with a median OS of around 9 months in a fit PS and 3 months in a unfit PS. Uh, at the same time, next 3, 4 slides, please. You're moving slowly, please. Move next. So we also did a huge online survey of geriatric assessment in practicing oncologists in India, and we could find out that geriatric oncology is the next thing that we have to look forward to, and this is the results of it. And based on this, we started the geriatric oncology clinic in Tata Hospital as well as in my previous institution, and also the a lot, 2, 3 number of publications. My next three, please move forward fastly. Next 3, 4 slides. Next. Yeah. So this was the oral presentation which I did on the molecular profiling of the salivary gland tumors, and you could see that come to the next 2 slides, that 55% of the salivary tumors had an actionable mutations. The androgen receptor was present in 34%. And just as we have a visceral crisis in breast cancer, we do have a visceral crisis in the salivary tumors also. So those who are not on visceral crisis and are put on observation, the median time to progression is 20 months as compared to those who are not put to it. And first time also we published on the perioperative EOX protocol, which was the study which we did in a retrospective manner, and we could find out that those who in a gastric cancer without a surgery performed very poorly, and with the new adjuvant and adjuvant therapy performed wonderful. This is the next 2, 3 slides, please. We are learning slowly. Yeah, this is the at Safdarjung, there was a dream. I did a lot of stuff. We got a molecular oncology grant of 6 crores for starting a molecular oncology lab. I am not writing this because of probably ethical issues. We got a research ethical committee started. We got a number of clinical trials which we were collaborating on. Earlier the chemotherapy was given in bi-lanes, in toilets, in staircases. I was the one who started the daycare center there, as you could see from this figure. The only problem was that that department was run over by the radiation oncologist, and I refused to abide by it, and that's why I took a call that instead of being a 51st medical oncologist in a metropolitan city, I came to this Kanpur, and I am in my future I am planning to go even to the by-lanes of Etawah, Allahabad, and Jhansi, where the accessibility of medical oncology is very remote. And every Sunday, I have planned for the same for next subsequent months, so that the cancer care is delivered to those who are most needed at a price that they can afford. At this center also, we have asked a number of NGOs. We have started the clinical trials ethics committee, and we have got a number of clinical trials. I'm working at Roots because it gives me a sense of satisfaction at the night that even though I'm working throughout, but I am working, I'm justifying for, next slide, please, for all the people who have given me hope. And I would be bombarding you subsequently with the number of conferences that I have done, because I want the academics to reach each and every part of the India at their laptop, so that you could have seen me in number of conferences, but there are more to come in future. Definitely, that's a promise. And I would keep on working and keep on delivering to the best of my capacity and the best of my abilities. Next slide. So that I can justify the the faith and the people who have given me what I am right now. All the people in Tata Memorial Hospitals, the teachers, the mentors, the colleagues, and the whole staff, the parents, and the people like Dr. Kumar sir, Dr. Shripat sir, Dr. Sudeep, Dr. Purvis sir, Dr. Naveen sir, Dr. Randeep sir, my seniors across all department and fields, and I respect everybody from the bottom of my heart. They teach me in a direct or an indirect manner, the whole department and staff of Safdarjung Hospital, the whole department and the staff of the Regency Hospital. Everybody keeps me motivated and keeps me at my toes, not to sit back and relax. Thank you for the opportunity, and best of luck to every of the deserving candidates who have been there. And thank you, judges, for the same.